Sometimes we think that by being in our comfort zone, it will make us feel at home, and we don't have to do anything that is outside of our comfort zone. Every day, we only do what we usually do and never challenge ourselves to get out of our comfort zone. That is how I think before. In the past, I never want to participate in any organizational activities because I think that organization is complicated, boring, and there are many people with no in it. So I don't feel comfortable with the thought of joining an organization. I thought that I better befriend people whom I am familiar with. I better do casual activities with my friends rather than organizational activities. However, everything changed when I became a college student, where I had to get out of my comfort zone. I had to start independently and had to have lots of friends because I studied in a bigger city than my city. I also thought that I had grown up, where I had become one step closer to the working environment. As far as I know, most of the knowledge about leadership, organization, and public speaking are obtained from joining the organization. So, I think it's a time for me to change and become a person who is passionate about organization. And after joining the organization, here are some things that turn me into a person who loves organization. First, I can get lots of friends from various departments and faculties in my campus. Thus, it will be easier for me to obtain information from each individual. Being in the organization taught me how to treat people well. It taught me how to build a good relationship. I used to think that the people in the organization were not good and the seniors tend to feel superior. But I was wrong. It turned out, even though people in the organization are different in age, we are united and there is no seniority. And that is what makes me feel comfortable in the organization. For me, to organize is to challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone. Because in the past, I didn't want to befriend many people, but now I have changed it. Second, by joining the organization, we are in the same age of maturity and we also together learn to be responsible. It is reasonable that in the organization there will always be a problem and things that we may not like. But here is the time for us to learn to mature ourselves. With the problems we experience, it will require us to think maturely and become two individuals. Because everyone knows that time will go on. We will also get older, right? And of course, we are required to be more mature. I know I'm not mature yet, so I think it's a time for me to learn to be a more mature and responsible person. Third, we could gain a lot of knowledge that we cannot get from the classes. Classroom lecturers only teach us about theory and give us little amount of practice. While being in the organization, we could directly come face some of the problems that arise. We could directly practice the knowledge that we got in the society. And by joining the organization, we will learn the science of public speaking, social relation, and much more. And of course, this knowledge is not taught in the lectures. Again, I felt that I needed to grow and get out of my comfort zone. I have to get rid of my fear of speaking public. I have to get rid of my awareness when meeting other people. And I have to start learning how to build a good relationship. And it is here in the organization that I could learn everything. Although I am a newbie in the organizational work, I can already feel the benefit of joining the organization. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's hard for us to get out of our comfort zone, but it will be even more difficult if we don't make the effort to step away from it. In this life, we don't only need people who are smart and clever in science, but also people who can coordinate things well, know human management, have a leadership spirit, and so on. And of course, these skills can only be obtained within the organization. And for me, to organize is to challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone. And do you know, the biggest reason on why I like joining the organization is due to the fact that I want to be someone who has a high leadership spirit and good public speaking. Yes, even though I have not achieved that goal yet, I will always continue the process of developing and learning in this organization. The old me who was embraced to meet new people, who was afraid to organize because I was afraid to interfere with my study time and afraid to speak in public, now has turned into a person who is little more different than before. I become an extrovert person who likes to introduce myself in front of new people, and I also turn into a person person who can manage my college time and organization. Yes, even though I am not too smart, but at least I can gradually manage my time and become someone who starts learning to speak in public. Like what I'm doing right now, I am able to stand and speak in front of all of you. I am very proud and happy to join an organization, namely Economic English Club. Here, apart from learning English, I also learn how to organize properly and learn public speaking. In the end, I just want to say that we cannot just live like this. Time is running out, and God's man, the world is also constantly changing. So, if we are still stagnant, of course we will fall behind. And from now on, we have to get out of our comfort zone and find victories out there. Because every day, we have to upgrade ourselves to be a better version of ourselves yesterday. Thank you.